nobody there. Sky is falling, metal rain, chaos mornings, no one's sane. Crumbling towers, streets in flames, forgotten heroes, who knows their names. Broken futures, shattered dreams, end of times ain't what it seems.
Hello friends, this is Sam Cheney reporting for Weaponized News. Today's December 4th, 2025. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday edition of Weaponized News. We have Ruckus on the line, so let me get through the intros here quickly. What do we got? Washington Accords there. In Washington, D.C., Trump signs peace accords with the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Rwanda. How any of this is any of our business, I don't know, but we're going to stick our nose in it and claim victory regardless. So we have that to cover. It's actually quite a bit of news. The White House attack on the media, much deserve it, but hey, can't trust any of them. Oh, hey, we got all the bad guys. We're draining the swamp, MAGA. That's why a grand jury declined to re-indict Letitia James, prosecutor there out of New York. So they blew the Letitia James case. They blew the James Comey case. And so we're draining the swamp, bro, MAGA. It's just idiocy at this point. But hey, they like being idiots, so they're going to continue down that same path. What else do we got today? They got the pipe bomber, allegedly the DC pipe bomber. Now the DOJ and FBI said they have arrested a suspect. He's already being convicted out there in the media. Again, this is another example about why we have freaking due process. It's just so tiresome. But all your MAGA, this is your guy. And it's like the government is just a never-ending lie, and the media a never-ending lie. And so this is why we have trials in this country, but it's beyond. I don't know. So we got that to cover. A lot of dystopic news, dystopic robots. They did put up a RoboCop statue there in Detroit. The economy's doing wonderful. It's the golden age, Trump tells us. Layoff announcements top 1.1 million this year. It's the golden age, bro. What else do we got? Still fallout from some Minnesota, Somalia in Africa. Is it one and the same? It's starting to look like it. Don't drive by Tim Walz's house in Minnesota and call him retarded, all right? Because he's sick of it. We got video of that, so just don't do it. Don't do it. Because there's a rash of people in Minnesota driving by his house calling him retarded. Shameful, I tell you. And then this came out yesterday. I saw it, but I was like, we had enough news to cover. But yeah, Epstein, they put out a video of Epstein Island. I don't know if we got any new information from it really, but the one photo that stood out to me, the thumbnail of this show, the dentist chair and these weird masks and arrangement, we're going to break down how it's Trump-based mind control, and it's all part of the dark occult. And that's what none of your media will tell you. Very few will tell you. We're going to break that down for you and show you. What else? A lot of geopolitical news today. Of course, Europe is now telling Zelensky not to trust America. But they're all bad actors. You can't trust any of these jokers. We got that. HHS has unveiled its AI strategy. And so isn't this exciting? We'll go over that. More Department of Homeland Security news. The finger pointing continues about who ordered the blow up of the boat and to whack the guys after. They didn't die during the initial strike there. Is it Hegseth? Is it an admiral? Is it Trump? The finger pointing. Nobody can take responsibility or blame. Really nothing new there, but we'll cover that a little bit. It's all so tiresome and ridiculous at this point. It's all unconstitutional, illegal, foreign wars of aggression, extrajudicial murders by the government, again, with no due process. And I posted that, oh yeah, Trump bombed Somalia 102 times. I don't know if they're bots, trolls, idiots, and people are cheering it on X. Bomb them more. I'm like, really? So you're just for all-out bombing of anybody that the government says is bad? So you're for a full dictatorship then, essentially. And apparently that's the conservative mindset now, because as we got to take a look at that meme that's pinned on Ruckus's account, because looks to me like it's right on there. What's going to go on here with Venezuela? We're waiting. Yesterday, Trump said land strikes are coming soon. So we're still waiting there to see what's going to happen. We got a bunch of reports about that we'll go over. China. They're rolling out over 100 ships across East Asian waters as the tensions between China and Taiwan and Japan are escalating. Putin went to India, hanging out with Modi. We got that. And then, of course, the genocide in Aardvark land continues. They whacked, who'd they whack today? They whacked the hell out of Lebanon today. And then we got clips from our, probably the most, I'm saying it, the most corrupt man in the world, our shadow president, Bibi Netanyahu. We had some clips of him, and some very scary clips, actually, where he says in this one clip with the New York Times, he says, a much greater revolution is here, driven by Aardvark land's powerful and frightening AI technologies. Well, we know we've been reporting ad nauseum. They're using Palantir, amongst other AI technologies, to target people through 6 degrees of separation, Lavender program, other programs, and down the line, right? If you talk to somebody they said was affiliated with Hamas, 6 people down the line, you're on the whack list, bud. And they're bringing that here. That's why I keep making the point. People get them all, the terrorists, right? It's all for you. It's all for you, America. Don't you see? They don't want to see. So you're going to get yours, sadly. Yeah, they're still stacking bodies. They whacked Lebanon, bombing the hell out of Lebanon. They were stacking bodies, 8 dead in Gaza there. It's peace in the Middle East, Trump told us yesterday. Peace in the Middle East. There's a ceasefire. We're looking at going into phase 2. 6 Palestinians killed in the last 24 hours. 2 more recovered from the rubble. 16 injured. That's what we call peace in the Middle East, bro. All right, all that. Let me blast through this day in history. I don't want to leave Ruckus on the line there hanging too much longer. Okay, quickly, what do we have? Quite a bit on this day in history. Well, it's the first Thanksgiving, where all the racist white people were mean to Indians, right? In the year 1619, on this day, December 4th, 38 colonists from Berkeley Parish, England, disembark in Virginia and give thanks to God, considered by many the first Thanksgiving in the Americas. Well, they're just a bunch of white racists, right? In 1655, on this day, Middelburg, Netherlands forbids building of synagogue. So noticing there in the Netherlands in 1655. In 1791, on this date, Britain's The Observer is the first published and becomes the world's first and oldest Sunday newspaper. And you take a look at and strangely enough, they have the all-seeing eye on the, so there you go. The Observer with the all-seeing eye on it, 1791. Continuing here, 1844 on this day, James Polk is elected 11th American president. 1875, we reported when he was arrested, but now he's escaped apparently. In 1875, Boss Tweed of Tammany Hall escapes from jail, flees to Spain, and is subsequently recaptured. Boss Tweed there. Big corruption, I know, shocking, out of New York City in 1875. In 1915, Henry Ford's peace ship Oscar II sails for Europe to, quote, get the boys out of the trenches by Christmas. In 1933, on this day, 1933, Ruckus, FDR creates the Federal Alcohol Control Administration on this day in 1933. In 1942, on this day, U.S. bombers strike Italian mainland for the first time in World War II. In 1978, on this day, for California, Dianne Feinstein is named as San Francisco's first female and aardvark mayor after the assassination of George Moscone, then elected to 2 full terms, and did a lifetime of parasiting off the taxpayer. And so we appreciate dying in office as California federal senator. And so we do appreciate the grift, the fraud, the corruption from Dianne Feinstein, celebrated on this day of going in there to corrupt San Francisco even more than it already was before. So we salute the corruption. 1981, on this day, Reagan, the conservative hero, President Ronald Reagan broadened CIA powers, executive order on intelligence number 12333, that allows CIA to engage in domestic counterintelligence. Well, isn't that very conservative of Mr. President Reagan there, the actor? Then moving forward to 1992, U.S. President George H.W. Bush orders 28,000 U.S. troops to war-torn Somalia. Somalia just can't catch a break here, man. Okay. On to 2014, on this day, U.S. authorities promise a, quote, fair investigation into the death of African-American Eric Garner, after a white New York City police officer held him in a chokehold, faces no charges. Remember that whole deal? They killed this black dude because he was selling cigarettes without paying the tax. And so they're like, you're dead. And they choked him out in the streets, the cops. I remember that. That was that was something they could have organized around, not this George Floyd, but of course we know is all subversion to discredit any legitimate protest against police brutality. And then in 2024, 1 year ago, Luigi Mangione, right? He's already been convicted in the media. We don't even know if the guy did it. There's a shady video. You can't see who actually did it on that video. Anyhow, United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson is shot and killed outside a hotel in Manhattan, New York, in a targeted attack. And then I think we have one on this day in our civil liberties history. We do. In the year 1947, official blacklist, Attorney General's list of subversive organizations published. President Harry Truman ordered the creation of an Attorney General's list of subversive organizations as part of his federal loyalty program, which he established on March 21st, 1947. The list was officially published in the Federal Register on this day. The list became a quasi-official blacklist as members of listed organizations lost jobs or suffered other penalties because of their alleged association with alleged left-wing organizations organizations had no way to protest or appeal being listed. And individuals were labeled subversive even though they had quit the organizations years before or had only had a brief association in the first place. And with that, here's our segue to the news. And how many world peace because of Trump, we're told, as there's an ongoing campaign, an unconstitutional illegal foreign war of aggression in Somalia, amongst other places. But hey, let's give Trump the Peace Prize.
To begin a new era of harmony and cooperation between the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Rwanda.
And so there are your Washington Accords. And I don't know if you guys have looked into it, but if you look into the Rwandan genocide, it gets friggin' dark and scary and crazy. In the early 90s. How you doing, Ruckus, on this Thursday?
Howdy. I'm good. I remember Rwanda in the 90s. That was when Clinton was president, I believe, around that time, right? Or he was about to be, or he just was.
There's crazy reports saying they hit them with chemical weapons, turned people into zombie killers with machetes. It's freaking crazy, man.
It's horrible. In fact, it was actually generally considered one of the worst genocides of human history, recent memory, until, of course, the thing that's happening out there.
There's peace in the Middle East. There's peace there. Trump told us yesterday, Ruckus, it's peaceful there.
And you made a reference to a meme on my X account. Did you mean this one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I have this one pinned to my account because I think it's going to be timeless for quite a while. I hope the joke's not lost on some people, as I'm afraid it is, unfortunately. But yes, that's my mission right now. That's all I can focus on, is trying to remind people that the MAGA movement, in particular, Trump's administration 2.0, and a lot of the news and things that we see happening are really just a distraction and or helping to further along the technocracy, our very near future imprisonment, courtesy of technology, drones, robots, AI, algorithms, digital IDs, universal basic income, blockchain, crypto, rug polls, Melania coin, But anyways, lots to talk about today, isn't that? So let's just get right down to it, Meow.
You're gonna get down to it. Well, here's the White House posted this meme: "Daddy's home." Like, seriously, MAGA loves this crap.
We're going to get a bunch of like AI holiday Trump crap this year, aren't we?
Well, they just started. Here's your top media offenders of the week, as the White House put out this video calling out the fake news, allegedly.
Wow.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
Yeah. I'm just somebody.
Dude, they have subliminal. They're doing mind control in this stuff. There's subliminal messaging, all kind of stuff going on in this. The government is doing mind control.
Oh, and they're definitely using AI. I recognized a lot of AI elements in that one for sure. And copyrighted music again.
Again, they don't care. They're the government. What are you going to sue the government? Good luck. Okay, here's a. I forget this gal's name, but she does make a good point. She says a third of Congress is personally invested in the system, and so just let's take a listen to what she has to say about how we can maybe do something about the corruption to reform all the corruption. I have my doubts.
Numbers, because numbers do not lie. So when you hear members of both parties saying that they have solutions for affordability, the housing crisis, pharmaceuticals, all of this, and yet you look at their personal investments, you'll know that it's literally just political gamesmanship. And unless we actually prevent insider trading, which is happening every single day in Congress, if people are telling you otherwise, they are lying to you, and really look into the regulations on individual stock trading, I would say even make it similar to the executive branch, we are literally going to never be able to fix anything, because you have people on both sides that are controlled op for the three big ones: BlackRock, Vanguard, and Big Pharma. Let's look at these numbers real quick. Okay, so in the House, you have 25% of members, and in the Senate, 30% of members that own personally, totaling about $100 million in stocks in Big Pharma. Then you have BlackRock and Vanguard. In BlackRock, that big spooky organization that, in my opinion, is contributing to the housing crisis in this country because they're buying up all those single-family homes. Yeah, you have about 13 members reporting holdings, but that's a significant number, especially when you have only 535 members. Sorry, the video got cut off there.
Well, they should be allowed to insider trade, right? They're better than us.
Well, I mean, shoot. Well, I mean, it's like, isn't that the number one reason to become a member of Congress, right? That's Anna Paulina Luna, by the way.
If you and I did that, Ruckus, we're going to jail for 20 plus years, but they are setting national policy based on their personal investment profit portfolio.
Heck yeah, man. Wouldn't you? I mean, come on now. Does she have a meme coin, by the way? What would she call it? What was her stage name when she used to be an exotic dancer before she got into politics? I forget.
I forget.
I'm just kidding. I don't know, but that's what I hear anyway.
So Trump and MAGA and Pam Bondi, they drained the swamp, but we were asleep and we missed it. And this is part of it right here. Grand jury declines to reindict Letitia James, their attorney general out of New York. So it turns out it's all political theater. James Comey's walking, Letitia James is walking, but the storm's upon us, bro. We drained the swamp. That's what we're promised.
Lock her up.
It's just so freaking ridiculous. Okay, Poly Market Odds says now the Democrats are at 80% chance to retake the House of Representatives next year. Sounds about right to me. What do you think about those odds?
Okay, when did this become a thing? These cryptocurrency prediction markets are now being referred to left and right in the news. Another one is Kalshi, Kalshi. It's just prediction market. So it's just, which is interesting because I'm like, oh, I guess it's probably very useful data to the elites and to political scientists and campaign managers, I suppose. I mean, what would Cambridge Analytics think about all of this stuff? I mean, considering what they did with Facebook likes back in the day, right? It's wild to me, but I don't know when that became a thing, but yeah. Look at that. So there you go. I think it's, what's the opposite of a red wave, Sam? Is it right? What's it called when the water recedes and it pulls back? Is that low
tide?
Low tide? Low red tide?
Low red tide.
No tide?
No tide. Not looking good. Well, I don't blame America because they're not doing jack. Okay, so they launched this initiative, and I'm kind of suspicious of it. Anything that the government's involved in, they say, we're helping the children. U.S. First Lady Melania Trump welcomes progress in Russia-Ukraine Children's Reunification Initiative. There's more. The First Lady Melania Trump announced today that 6 boys and 1 girl, have been reunited with their families in Ukraine after being separated due to the war. So they're doing their part to help the children, Ruckus.
Well, that's wasn't Putin accused of like kidnapping these kids or something like that? And then also, wasn't Melania, hasn't there been some conspiracy theories running around involving some sort of involvement of hers back in a foreign country close to her source home, involving children and trafficking and things? I'm just, circulating rumors, repeating echoes of things that I've heard and seen online. Don't come at me, bro. But yeah.
No, I've seen those same things, and it is particularly interesting that goes on in Eastern Europe.
Is she going to recruit them into her little AI programs?
Maybe. No, but I hope it's all legit and these kids get back with their families, honestly. But it's just hard to trust these shady actors called the U.S. government. Okay, but here's Cash Patel. I don't know. I can't even do my eyes that cross-eyed. I'm working on the Cash Patel impression here. But let's just play the clip and try not to laugh too hard at this. Cash Patel today. Oh, gotta turn on the sound. Sorry about that.
People. And today, I'm proud to stand here before you and say, we solved it. He will have his day in court. The American public and the world will learn even more information through the legal process. As we have committed under this Attorney General, we are the most transparent law enforcement operation in U.S. history.
Stop it, dude. Stop it.
In history.
In history, the most transparent law enforcement operation in U.S. history.
The transparentist.
For those ever, so there's a whole hoax. They went after the wrong guy first. Now they're saying this is the right guy. U.S. authorities have arrested a man suspected of planning 2 pipe bombs in Washington, D.C. on the night before January 6th, Capitol riots, insurrection, attempted overthrow of the government, which was just a bunch of MAGAs being provocateured by the federal government. Anyhow, all that's come out, and the FBI has spent years searching for the suspect, releasing surveillance footage, collecting hundreds of tips, and offering a $500,000 reward. Video from January 5th, 2021 showed the individual placing explosives near both the Democrat and Republican National Committee headquarters in Washington, D.C. The bombs were discovered and safely deactivated the next day, the dreaded J6, as pro-Trump rioters stormed Congress. And then here's the famous photo. Of course, I'm sure everybody's seen this, of the alleged bomber there. But now they're saying they got their guy. Let's hear from Blondie Bondi. I lost Epstein files, but it's all a Democrat hoax, so who cares?
Early this morning, Brian Cole Jr. was arrested and charged with placing the pipe bombs at the RNC and the DNC on January 5th, 2021. He has been charged with violating 18 U.S.C. 844, which is use of an explosive device. This investigation is ongoing. As we speak, search warrants are being executed, and there could be more charges to come. I'm going to let our U.S. Attorney discuss that shortly. This was the work of multiple agencies working together. This morning's operation was carried out safely and successfully. Early.
Safe and effective. Man, they are. Cash Patel looked particularly proud of himself. I have not seen him looking that proud on film since his recent update to his social media picture. Have you seen that? That's what he's rocking now. But just kidding. Yeah, no, they're all quite pleased with themselves. And did I see there was Judge Janine back there and everybody? And yep. And Barbie was quite happy. She's like, yes, finally something made it past my desk without disappearing. Congrats.
Here's the bomb. Here's the alleged bomb. Pipe bomb, right? Allegedly, that's it. And here's the alleged guy. And I'm saying don't convict him. He deserves a trial. DC pipe bombing suspect, Brian Cole Jr., right here is the alleged guy. After that whole 2-week, that was a witch hunt where they claimed it was somebody else and it wasn't even them.
Yeah, he looks exactly like the person in the picture. They did a good job, man. 100%. Of course, you could probably take anybody's picture and compare it to the person in the picture, and for the vast majority, 50% of the people would be like, that could be them. It could be almost anybody.
Looks, hey, it's close enough to me, right? For me, look at that. Yeah, looks like him.
Nailed it.
That guy is this guy.
Wait a minute, or was that Luigi Mangione? I'm confused.
Today is the anniversary of Brian Thompson's assassination there in New York, as we await the Mangione trial. Another one that's already been publicly convicted in the media, and we literally have no idea, right? But everybody says he's guilty, and God forbid you say, well, let's at least have a fair trial. Conservatives start screaming at you, and it's like, good job, tyrants. You know, it's just, it's amazing, man.
They feel the same way about those Venezuelan boats.
Yeah, same thing, same routine there. But thankfully, Detroit has rolled out a statue of RoboCop. Let's take a look at this video. So now our dystopic future is getting closer and closer. Now, doesn't that just jive with technocracy for you? We remove founding fathers and historical figures, statues around America, and then we put up a RoboCop there in DC.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me. That's wild. So, I mean, but Detroit was the
that's where it was set, yeah.
Yeah, in the future. So that's interesting that they're going to use a fictional character such as RoboCop, put a statue out there. Well, maybe what they should do is they could do in front of the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., they should do a statue of one of those aliens from Independence Day. What do you think? That'd be kind of fun.
Be cool, since we're getting rid of all the founding fathers statues.
Or Mars Attacks. I think Mars Attacks would be better. That'd be more fun.
They killed Congress.
I love that movie.
Okay, here's a creepy one for you. Cursed Billionaire Petting Zoo by Beeple. Have you seen this?
It's the robo dogs pooping NFTs. Yeah.
With heads of Musk, Bezos, and Zuckerberg. This is creepy, weird. I don't even know who thinks up this stuff, but it's
Beeple does this kind of stuff. So this should not surprise anyone who's familiar with this particular artist. However, if this is your first experience with Beeple, wow, yeah.
Trigger warning: this is disturbing.
See, that's what's funny about this show.
Who's going to clean that mess up?
Oh man, this is not so funny. What's happening here now? They say they're bringing 1,000 jobs to New York City. Fluid Stack expands U.S. investment by relocating global headquarters to New York City. And let's check these guys out for a second. Today, Fluid Stack, the leading AI cloud platform trusted by the world's top labs, announced it's moving its headquarters there to New York City. They claim that they're going to create 300 permanent jobs that will earn an average salary of $144,000 a year, as well as create over 800 additional well-paying construction jobs for skilled American workers. Is $144,000 a year even? I think that's like the poverty level in New York City at this point, isn't it? Like that, you're not doing anybody a great big favor there, honestly.
It's gross, literally. 144 is gross.
Yeah, that's what they're claiming. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was
take out your benefits, your taxes, all that, and yeah, living in New York City is extremely expensive.
There are like 2 or 3 separate independent videos right now on my YouTube playlist or feeds right now talking about, I guess the news reports came out that like $160,000 per year is the effing poverty level. And I'm just like, you're kidding me, right? Or it's something ridiculous. Like
in these big cities, yeah, for sure.
That is like, you know, well over what I used to make when I received a paycheck. And I'm just like, but that's now the poverty line. I'm like, man, I don't think there's a classification for whatever level I'm at right now.
I hear you. I hear you. So they're moving. This whole technocracy is moving forward at lightning speed. As we had the CEO Johnson of NVIDIA yesterday praising Trump. None of this could have been possible without Trump, is what he said to Rogan. We played the clip yesterday. And so we applaud Trump for ushering in the technocracy, snowing all of the conservatives, all the MAGA. They're still fighting with liberals. It ain't even about any of that. They snowed you. They give you misdirection. Blame liberals all day. And the tech billionaires are laughing their heads off.
While pooping NFTs.
On to a little bit of economic news. Taxation's theft, and you would have your money up front and be allowed to do whatever you want with it. But the government tells us, it's from the White House, largest tax refund season in American history. Well, they had to steal the money from you first before they could refund it back to you. And so at you get no interest, no nothing. It's like, wow, we get a tax refund. You can put those 22-inch rims on your freaking lowrider now. You know what I mean?
We could save them the trouble of having to give it back if we don't let them take it in the first place. Cut out the middleman, save some money. Come on, that'd be effective, right? Doge, baby.
But they got to sell the idea that Trump's tax reform, the big beautiful bill, and there's a lot of esoteric behind BBB occultism. It's in a lot of stuff. Build Back Better, big beautiful bill. I was looking at that last night, and there's all kind of stuff. It ain't no good. It ain't no good. Let me tell you, when they put that BBB, that's a cult signaling to those in the know in the secret society that, oh yeah, everything's just fine. Go along with this. This is part of the program of effing over the 99%.
And it means something completely different if you have your safe filters turned off on the web searches, kids. So
it's a golden age, the greatest economy ever. Trump tells us. Well, layoff announcements topped 1.1 million this year, the most since 2020 when we had the problem with the bats. And so it doesn't matter. They just never-ending lies. They don't give us economic data from the government anymore now, Ruckus.
The government was shut down, Sam. They wanted to, but those satanic, evil, libtard Democrats, it's all their fault. Joe Biden did it.
Freaking Biden. I knew it. I knew it was Biden's fault. Manufacturers shrink for 9th month in a row. Tariffs hurt sales and keep a lid on hiring. That's a report out of Market Watch. But we were told that it's like we're in the greatest economic boom in the history of this country by Trump.
But even more people are going to lose their jobs soon to AI, and that's great news because then we can all get universal basic income and save the world, cure cancer, no more prisons, no more crime, whatever. Yep.
No, we're all going to be in prison.
Oh, darn it.
Just how they said they freed the slaves? Well, no, they made everybody slaves. And so we're doing prison reform. We're freeing the prisoners. No, you're all prisoners now. You see, that's how this works. On to Somalia. Can we find Somalia on a map? Let's take a look at it. Here's Somalia. Very nice. Look at all this beachfront property there in Somalia. Trump has bombed Somalia 102 plus times. We have Marines, boots on the ground, doing attacking cavemen that are alleged ISIS terrorists in Somalia. So there is Somalia on the map, and then we have Somalia.
I had no idea Somalia was in Canada. That's pretty neat.
No, it's in Minnesota, actually.
Just kidding.
It's in Minnesota, and so some of this. Before we get back to Somalia, quickly about these Afghanistans, the former CIA contractor working for Afghan nationals shot the National Guard there in D.C. And now we see this report, a new report from the Special Inspector General for Afghanistan Reconstruction concludes that the United States occupation of Afghanistan was fundamentally doomed, plagued by corruption, unrealistic goals, and up to $29.2 billion in waste, fraud, and abuse. Over 20 years, Congress spent about $144.7 billion trying to build Afghanistan's government and military, an effort that the report now described as a white-collar criminal enterprise. The report cites 1,327 cases of misuse of funds, including unused aircraft and building massive contractor kickbacks and bribery schemes involving both Americans and Afghanis. Some suspects were considered off limits because they worked with U.S. intelligence. Despite $38.6 million spent on Afghanistan military equipment, the force collapsed within days of the 2021 U.S. withdrawal, leaving $7.1 billion in weapons behind for the Taliban. The report also found that the U.S. tolerated alliances with abusive warlords and ignored widespread corruption for over a decade. But yeah, cheer on bombing Somalia some more. You know what I mean?
Well, we all knew that Ukraine was a corrupt government. Oh, wait, this is America that we're talking about, involved with Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
Wild, man. Yeah, no, that's pretty wacky. I wonder sometimes just how much of the national debt can be contributed to little mishaps such as these types of military adventures that go awry, as it were.
The report called it a white-collar criminal enterprise. So there you go. Your government is a crime syndicate.
White-collar criminal enterprise. That just doesn't roll off the tongue, but it sounds nice.
Afghan terrorists. The White House says, we got this guy. We got him, Ruckus. We're safe now. Afghan terrorist who was released in the United States under the Biden administration. Disastrous Operation Allies Welcome program, arrested just miles from our nation's capital. We will fix it. We will never forget what crooked Joe Biden and his thugs did to our country. And so this bad man is an ISIS-K Afghani terrorist. He's been arrested in Washington, Ruckus.
He's got war paint on, too. ISIS-K, those guys are the ones that were allegedly behind that shooting that took place in the mall in Russia a year or two back. Remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
That was a pretty wild video right there. That was cray-cray.
So we got them. They're keeping us safe. Flashback, these corporate giants helped Biden flood America with barely vetted Afghan refugees. And so we go over there and spread American corruption in Afghanistan, and then bring them over here and then act shocked after we've illegally occupied their country for the last 20 years and act shocked when they're upset with America. So it is quite shocking. These corporations such as Airbnb, American Airlines, Google, and other publicly supported Operation Allies Welcome with the aid of nonprofit Welcome.us, which facilitated the resettlement of Afghan refugees who aided American forces during the 2-decade involvement in Afghanistan. The program has widely been criticized for bringing thousands of poorly vetted or entirely unvetted refugees into the United States. Makes sense, right?
Safe and effective.
Way
to go, Biden.
Here's a flashback of Ilhan Omar back to Somalia. Minnesota. Somalia. Let's watch this news. This is from 2016 about ISIS in Minnesota and Ilhan Omar.
Sentencing for 9 Somali American men is set for next week in Minneapolis, but a newly elected official is asking for leniency.
Minnesota Representative-elect Ilhan Omar wrote a letter to the judge asking for compassion instead of decades of prison time.
Fox 9's Karen Scullin joins us now with what she had to say to defense attorneys and U.S. Attorney Andy Lugar. Karen?
Well, defense attorneys are asking for leniency, but so are several others who filed letters to the judge on behalf of the defendants. But U.S. prosecutors responded tonight with strong arguments why all of them should, in fact, receive the recommended sentence.
Election night was just 2 days ago, but it seems Minnesota Representative-elect Ilhan Omar may have already made her first move as an elected official. In a letter signed November 8th, Omar asks a U.S. district judge for compassion when sentencing 9 Minnesota Somali American men convicted of trying to join the terrorist group ISIS. She says the best deterrent to fanaticism is a system of compassion. We must alter our attitude and approach if we truly want to affect change. We should refocus our efforts on inclusion and rehabilitation. But she's not.
Isn't she being a good representative of her district there? Seems like it.
Oh, her district for darn sure. What's with the thing that she wears on her head all the time? I heard a rumor that it's just so nobody wants to see her hair because it could be dangerous. It looks something like this, if I'm not mistaken, from what I hear. So it's probably a good thing she keeps that thing under wraps. Yeah, no, Somalia's been in the news quite a bit lately. Yeah, isn't that interesting? Wonder if there's any odd timing related to that. Is this a political thing? Is there something else going on? Are we going to go to war? Again,
we're already in war. We got boots on the ground in Somalia. Killing cavemen, man, and we're bombing them. So we're in a war with Somalia right now.
Those cavemen pose a great threat to the United States of America. Sam, in case you didn't know,
I do know, and salute bombing cavemen in Somalia. Okay, here's another report from the White House.
State Senator Zaida Mohammed says these attacks won't stop with Somalis, and their contributions can't easily be erased.
We are in every industry, and Minnesota would not be able to survive nor thrive without the Somali community.
See? Minnesota would collapse without the Somalis there.
Well, that's weird. This is an American city in the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
That does not depend on American local residents, citizens, but foreigners from another country in order to survive. Has it been this way for like as long as that state or this country has been around, or is this something new?
No, they're part of the Pilgrims. These Somalians came over with them.
They were on the boat with Columbus or something, right?
No, this is fairly recent. And we seem to keep making the same mistake. We go overseas, bomb the hell out of their countries, and then bring them over here and then act surprised when they're pissed off at us. You know what I mean? It's like, this is called blowback. You don't bring over the people that you just bombed and then wonder why they're pissed off at you. I mean, come on, man. But that's where we're at here. With these Afghans.
Ingrates. We gave them a home, and this is how they treat us.
We blew up their native home, but we brought them here for America, and so they should be thankful for this. And so we got Afghanis pissed off at us, Somalians. Basically, 85% of the world hates America, if you didn't know America, because we've been bombing the hell out of every place for the last 250 freaking years. It's so hard. Out of love. It's to bring peace. It's to bring peace. The Treasury is investigating whether Minnesota welfare money went to Somali terror group Al-Shabaab. So of course it did. Of course it did. So they come over here, they can't even speak English, they have no skills, but whatever. We feel bad because they're refugees, because we built up their country, let's put them on welfare, give them something, and then they go ahead and take that money and funnel it back to terrorists in Somalia.
Sometimes we hear they eat your pets.
Trump stopped that. Remember in Ohio, there was a rash of pet eating going on, and Trump stopped it, thankfully. So that's one.
They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. That was what he said. But I guess I think the mainstream media calls that fake news. But now Trump calls them fake news. So the tables have churned.
Minnesota's been racked by allegations of large-scale fraud in the state's public assistance programs. Dozens of people have been charged in a $250 million scheme involving the nonprofit Feeding Our Future and its partners, which federal prosecutors say stole federal nutrition aid by falsely claiming to help distribute meals during the bat time. Officials have also brought fraud charges involving housing aid and autism-related programs in the state of Minnesota. Yeah.
That was, I think I may have mentioned it on this program or another one. They were literally enrolling fake kids or pretending that their kids had autism, and bingo, bango, you get a nice fat benefits package of welfare programs that you've probably never even heard of or knew existed. Neat.
What
caused the autism? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Go
there. Tim Wall says people are driving by his house to call him retarded.
That's a slur. Don't do it.
Don't drive by Tim Wall's house and yell retard out your window. Here he is.
True. This creates danger. And I'll tell you what, in my time on this, I'd never seen this before. People driving by my house and using the R word in front of people. This is shameful. And I have yet to see an elected official, a Republican elected official, say, you're right, that's shameful. He should not say it. So look, I'm worried. We know how these things go. They start with taunts, they turn to violence. So deeply concerned.
The R word? We can't even say retarded? That's like, okay. The R word.
I would never say that, but I will say that guy is definitely a really dumb person.
So who's going to win, him or My Pillow guy in the next Minnesota governor race?
Guy. He gets my vote.
He's going to win, right?
Oh yeah. He's making a new whatever that thing is that lady wears on her head. He's making a whole line of those for the people out there to get their votes.
Is he really? Hey,
I'm just kidding.
He's industrious. But yeah, he announced yesterday he's running for governor there against Walls in Minnesota. So I hope he wins, honestly. He needs something, because I feel bad for him, honestly, because it feels like Trump just threw him under the bus, whatever. And that guy destroyed himself over the 2020 election, essentially, himself and his business. And Trump don't give a damn. You know what I mean?
And this guy destroyed himself way before he started his business. So he recovered, and that guy was like a massive drug user. It was pretty wild. Addict.
Oh, Mike Lindell?
Yeah, his backstory is really interesting.
Yeah, but they should praise him as recovering from being a crack addict laying in the street, according to his own admission.
You would think so, right? But no,
it's a great American success story.
Crap. Yeah.
It's a great American success story. He was down and out, strung out, a junkie on the street, and quit doing drugs and turned his whole life around and built a successful pillow company. But you don't hear, he doesn't get any credit for any of that. He's just a former crackhead, or they say crackhead conspiracy theorist. I posted that yesterday for you from CNN. I don't think they said crackhead in that one, but they did say conspiracy theorist in the headline, talking about him. Like the first sentence doesn't say great American success story. It says crack addict conspiracy theorist Mike Lindell. It's like, damn, man. Damn. Rough.
They did that kind of stuff to Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she vamoosed, right?
Okay, where are we at? We got 5 minutes left. The next section, can we get to it? I think we can in 5 minutes. Okay, so the video came out. There's not much video. I'm not going to show it to you. Not much we can glean for it, but these weird, this right here, right, from Epstein Island came out yesterday. So here it is. What do you make of this dentist chair at Epstein's Island with all these weird masks in this weird room?
That is nitrous oxide set up
to knock you out?
Yeah, the laughing gas stuff. Yeah.
And so what is the occult meaning behind all this? Because that's what they always leave out of all these reports. Well, yeah, it's very bizarre, but it has a meaning. It's
the floating effect. Have you've ever been on that stuff? The nitrous oxide, the laughing gas at the dentist. My dad was a dentist, and sometimes he would let me and my sister go down there. He had his practice in the basement of our house. We would go down there and he'd let us sniff a little bit of that stuff. But yeah, that stuff makes you feel like you're floating. And if you do some research into MK Ultra and disassociative brainwashing, mind control, trauma-based stuff, it's definitely absolutely related. They're obsessed with that type of stuff. That's why you see the symbolism of usually a red, but balloons with certain things involving child abductions, like Stephen King's It, and the kid, and we all float down here, and he's got the balloon, the clown. There's lots of examples like this. Some of you diehard conspiracy theorists know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, you can see right there, that little thing, that stand that's next to there, and that apparatus that's there, I'm pretty sure that's the mask, and somewhere on the bottom part would be the tank. So I'm pretty sure that that's what this is being used for. They're clearly, there's no instruments. It doesn't look like a place that's being, maybe they're doing like, dirty stuff after the person's knocked out with that or having a good time on that. But I'm 99% sure that that is for administering nitrous oxide.
And part of the trauma-based mind control program. Here's the occult meaning. The element that may be interpreted as occult symbology charged is the series of approximately 8 to 10 wooden or plastered masks mounted on the wall. These masks appear to represent human faces in a stylized, possibly grotesque or theatrical manner, with exaggerated features such as prominent noses and expressions. The masks are irregularly spaced around the room, encircling the dentist chair in a manner that could invoke a ritualistic or observant circle. The occult context, masks often symbolize hidden identities, transformation, ancestral spirits, or psychological archetypes. A circle of faces may suggest themes of judgment, surveillance, or, quote, council of watchers reminiscent of esoteric traditions involving effigies or spirit vessels. The clinical dental setting juxtaposed with these primitive or tribal-like masks creates a dissonant, surreal atmosphere, potentially alluding to themes of pain, alteration of self, or involuntary revelation, concepts that intersect with occult ideas or intentional or ordeal. So I do believe they were using that to do trauma-based mind control through occult rituals on victims there at Epstein Island. Ruckus?
I would agree wholeheartedly. And yeah, those masks in particular are quite creepy.
So and imagine you're loaded on
personality archetypes would make ultimate sense to me. But yeah, go ahead.
Right. So imagine you're loaded on the nitrous in this chair, all these maniacs with these masks doing some chanting, doing some, and they're probably wearing robes and doing some type of bizarre occult ritual. That's a hell of a trip, right? And the whole time they're doing putting you through the trauma, breaking up your personality, and causing disassociation and then reprogramming you into be one of their slaves, essentially.
Cool. Funzo.
Okay. Next, we're going to come back with public health, but before we do that, let's take our live commercial break. Everybody go weaponizednews.com. We have the stickers there, the holograph sticker, the white background sticker, the clear sticker, weaponizednews.com. We appreciate all of the support. Let me pull up the page, check out the shop there. We're still recovering from the great banning to try to get some action on the internet. And anyhow, I'm still working on the website here, but the store's up and running and looking good. And so we have many items over there. Today, let's just take a look at one item in particular. Let's do the classic black Weaponized News shirt here. Classic black Weaponized News shirt with the logo there for your patronage at weaponizednews.com. But go check out the store. We have a bunch of different shirts, hats, baby gear, shot glasses, a bunch of other stuff, books, a few different books there at Weaponized News store. And we appreciate the donations and the subscriptions. So thank you very much for that. Right here in the description below this video, the link to the store, our Cash App, our Buy Me a Coffee, our Bitcoin wallet address, all there. Support independent reporting and analysis 5 days a week here at Weaponized News. Ruckus, go ahead and plug.
Sure. Head on over to alternatecurrentradio.com. Oh, there's something weird going on with our website. I'll fix that. That's where you will find stuff with me in it sometimes, like this.
Tell us about the show you did yesterday.
This is the one I just did. It was just premiered tonight, and now it's available on the website. So I was just on with Jamie Hanshaw. That's Jay Dyer's wife. And we talked about robots, AI, sex with robots, sex with AI, all sorts of interesting stuff. So you'll find that there. Her show is called Out of This World. You'll also find my friends and colleagues' shows up there, like Mystical American Patriot Society, the Odd Man Out podcast. You'll, of course, find Sunday Wire with Patrick Henningsen, and most importantly, The Boiler Room, which is on every Friday nights. That's me and my friends and colleagues over there, hosted by Hesher and the lovely Spore. But you'll find all of that at alternatecurrentradio.com. You'll also find links how you can reach out to me and a link to my X account. Send me a DM if you want help with your website, need a graphic image or some word slinging stuff, and you don't want to use AI or ChatGPT to help you. You want a real fleshy human being. Well, I'm not so fleshy and bony, but I'm still a human being, so hit me up. Thanks a lot, Sam.
Right there at AC_wordslinger to contact Ruckus for all your interweb needs. Thank you very much for that. Welcome back to the second half of Weaponized News on this Thursday, December 4th, 2025 edition. Moving on here to public health. They've done it here now, Ruckus. Well, first, this is a post by Trump. See, he cares about our public health. Operation Warp Speed told me that. He said, I'm dealing with the poisoning of America. Well, really, Trump, if you only knew how bad, how toxic our environment actually is. Well,
I'm gonna cut out some of those words to where I fixed it, and it says, I'm poisoning America.
Fix that for us, and that will be more appropriate. It says, I'm dealing with the poisoning of America.
What does that even mean?
Well, he saved us from bats, and now we're moving on.
I already know what it means. He's talking about the fentanyl in the boats and the bombing of the fishermen. Yep.
Not all the other toxins in our environment brought to us by our own American corporations, allegedly. Well, we've gone from bats to cats. Now there's fat cats all over this country, and they're launching a clinical trial for GLP-1 cat implants, the Ozempic for cats, Ruckus. A clinical trial has been launched in San Francisco. MEOW-1 as a study. It will look at the use of a miniature implant in cats, which will deliver the GLP-1 continuously for up to 6 months. The study will examine up to 50 cats who will take the implant and have their weight studied at 3 months on the drug, though the cats will remain under evaluation for 6 months. And so now they're giving Gila monster venom, synthetic Gila monster venom, to fat cats instead of just simply, well, let's watch this report and then we'll get back and we'll come back and give some more analysis about it. Fat cats, literally.
Perhaps you've been waiting for this story all afternoon. The popularity of GLP-1 weight loss drugs might be expanding to our pets. New research is underway for something being called Ozem pets.
Ozem pets. Health reporter Stephanie Stahl joins us to explain the research. We've been teasing this all show long. We need to know more.
Okay, I got it all for you, but it's like, really?
I know.
Okay, wait till you hear this. Wait till you hear this. So, this could be a new way to get fat cats to slim down. Researchers are testing a pet version of Ozempic on a very small group of felines.
I'm just gonna let him break it.
She laughs at his antics. Savannah Telking says her 10-year-old cat Runkle is sweet, sassy, and loves to eat.
Last time I weighed him, he weighed 21 pounds.
And he doesn't love anything involving physical activity.
He spends most of his days sleeping.
Runkle is part of a growing trend. Experts say roughly 6 in 10 cats in the United States are overweight or obese.
In veterinary medicine for the last 100 years, the only prescription we had was feed less, exercise more, and that just doesn't work for all types of obesity.
Dr. Ernie Ward, a top pet obesity expert, says drugs like Ozempic may be entering a new frontier, treating obese animals. Okava Pharmaceuticals just launched MEOW-1, a study testing a tiny under-the-skin implant that releases a GLP-1 medication in 50 cats. Dr. Ward says the benefits could go well beyond weight loss, pointing to human data that shows long-term health improvements.
And that's why we're so excited, because when we look at, especially in cats, one of the biggest health threats is obesity and then diabetes.
Results from the MEOW-1 trial are expected next summer. Okava is hoping for FDA approval for cat use in the next 2 years, adding dogs aren't far behind. But Savannah isn't sure about a diet drug for Runkle.
I think that if my vet came to me and was like, he's diabetic, we've tried everything else, we should consider that, then most definitely.
If the testing works, chunky cats like Runkle could be getting their own Ozempet moment. Okay.
This is crazy. This is the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard in a while. This is... Okay, the most concerning thing to me about this is the fact that they are doing this via an implant. So to me, that is like a test to... This would never work for my cat. When I used to have a cat, actually, my cat's name was Ruckus. That's where I got my name Ruckus from. I stole it from my cat. He was a Maine Coon. Have you seen Maine Coon cats? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Those suckers are huge. Some of them can get like really huge. So this is the new face of Ozempet. This is before, and this is after. So I don't recommend it. I'm not a veterinarian. This is not medical advice for your pets, but I would say this is probably a silly idea. And if anything, they just want to test the idea of two things, probably getting people used to injecting their pets with unsafe technologies. And then also moving that right up into injecting ourselves. They're like, hey, well, this did prove one thing. Well, it didn't help the cats, shucks, but it did prove that we're able to send a continuous stream of this gunk into your body via an implant. And I think that that's probably the bigger part of the story, but that's just me.
Can pet owners feed their cats less is the question here, I guess.
Can we feed our pets bugs and they'll be happy?
That may be.
Okay, some pets like to eat bugs by themselves. It's all right.
That may be coming in the very near future. Okay, the federal government, let's move on from that story, but we're still on public health. The federal government's rolling out today, actually, all these departments, as I monitor the crime syndicate for the show for you to report on all their crimes against us. They're Thursday, who knew? But they had some kind of collaboration between all their social media managers, and today it's wrapped. All the federal departments are saying it's wrapped. I don't know why. There's still a month left in the year, but they're saying it's wrapped, like the year's wrapped up, right? 2025. Somebody in marketing over there thought it would be a slick idea. Anyway, here's the Department of HHS, Health and Human Services, run by Bobby Kennedy Jr. They put out this one. He put out a thread of memes, actually. Let's go back to it and we can take a look. Your top follow, Secretary Kennedy. Here's your top, all these characters. MAHA nationwide, 37 states have implemented MAHA initiatives. And then your top MAHA wins: ending the chronic disease epidemic, reforming SNAP with the USDA, investigating the root cause of autism, removing toxic food dyes, and fighting pediatric cancer. And remember this challenge, I remember reporting on it: 50 pull-ups and 100 push-ups in less than 10 minutes. That is a very hard challenge. You spent, and get the 1776 here, 1,776 minutes checking ingredient labels for artificial dye there. And that's a thread from HHS, Bobby Kennedy Jr.
How silly.
Well, you want to listen to this. Here's a video he put out. He says, HHS has launched an investigation into a troubling incident where a Midwestern school administered a federally funded miracle to a child despite a legally recognized state exemption. If you believe your rights or your child rights have been violated, file a complaint with our Office of Civil Rights. Let's take a listen to Bobby Kennedy Jr. talking about this incident.
F. Kennedy Jr., your HHS secretary. Today I'm announcing decisive steps that HHS is taking to defend something that is absolutely fundamental in this country: a parent's right to guide their child's health decisions. That right is not optional, it's not negotiable, and under the Trump administration, it will not be ignored. HHS has launched an investigation into a troubling incident in the Midwest. A school administered a federally funded vaccine to a child without the parent's consent and despite a legally recognized state exemption. When any institution, a school, a doctor's office, a clinic, disregards a religious exemption, it doesn't just break trust, it also breaks the law. It fractures the sacred bond between families and the people entrusted with their child's care. And we're not going to tolerate it. The health resources and services.
Breaking the law, breaking the law.
These maniacs don't care. That's the issue here. And all the Democrat states, just to be against Trump, are against all his reforms, saying they're California, Washington, Oregon have said they're creating their own deal here now. But you trust them when our guys, see, they politicized healthcare in this country to the point of just idiocy. So if my lying politician that I love is in office, I trust whatever their policies are. But the guy I hate, I don't trust their policy, but trust the science. It's insanity here now, Ruckus, is what we're facing through the politicization of public health.
And yeah, there was something going on with RFK Jr.'s tan. I was like, he's got the Trump look going there. Maybe it's those orange camera filters they like to put on these people, but something's off. I don't know. He's weird.
He's looking
Very
pretty
odd.
healthy. Pretty healthy. He
Super
could do.
healthy.
I can't do. I'll admit, I can't do their challenge of 50.
Did you watch him do that challenge? Did he really do that challenge?
They
Did he
claim
really
they did.
complete it?
They did. That's hard to do. 50 pull-ups and 100 push-ups in 10 minutes. That you got to be in damn good shape and strong.
I can't do that in an hour, man.
Right. I could do it if I do sets. I guess that's what you do. But in 10 minutes, man, That's a rough workout, let me tell you. Okay, moving on to HHS unveils AI strategy to transform agency operations. And so here is our technocracy. Thankfully, we're going to be saved by AI, and then we're going to get healthier here. HHS unveils AI strategy to transform agencies' operations. Here's the press release, and here's the actual PDFs. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Artificial Intelligence Strategy. And so does this make you feel more healthy, Ruckus?
Oh, absolutely, man. I was before they came on the show, I was starting to feel like a little scratch in my throat, but now I feel worlds better, man. It's like I took a Halls or something.
Well, it's due to the HHS rolling out its AI strategic plan. Let's go through it. Let's go through it a little bit here. The plan emphasizes ethical, efficient, and innovative use of AI to improve public health outcomes, executive vision, and commitment. The plan establishes a forward-looking vision for HHS to leverage AI into streamlining administrative operations, enhancing healthcare delivery, and accelerating scientific innovation across its divisions. It adopts a unified one HHS approach to dismantle bureaucratic silos, foster internal division, collaboration, and align with the President's AI action plan. The commitment supports national goals such as Make America Healthy Again, positioning AI as a transformational tool for equitable health improvements and operational efficiency. So do you feel better when all your healthcare data is on a Palantir dashboard, Ruckus?
Only because it's ethical and equitable. What the F? Speaking of E-words, dude, that's pretty wacky. So basically what they're saying is that AI is going to replace the humans, in those messy humans who are messing things up, right? And the streamlining the process. There was a lot of that discussion, and then also there was a related
dismantle. To me, the key of all that is dismantle bureaucratic silos.
Yeah, that too.
Same thing Doge did, and so they're gonna consolidate all of our data. So literally, there's a Ruckus, Sam Chaney. They push the button, boom, your entire health history, financial history, anything. They know more about you than you know about yourself, and they're gonna have all that at the touch of a button, and to do what they like with it, which is exploit us.
I'm sort of jealous. I wish I knew more about myself.
Well, just call up HHS. I'm sure they have a full profile dossier on you, and every American, for that matter. And then also,
I had no idea I was interested in domestic terrorism.
Well, they'll tell you are. Let's just read. Let's see here. We are making HHS a template for the utilization of AI, Bobby Kennedy Jr. says. And so this is a freaking nightmare. This is a freaking nightmare what they're doing here now. The template for AI.
There was that. That's the other thing too, is they said that this was in lockstep. They didn't say that, but they said this was aligned with Trump's AI guidance.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all again, what was like one of the very first things he did? Didn't he do this on day one? Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Project Stargate thing where he's like, yeah, we're going to just warp speed ahead all this AI and science and technology mishmashing together. And then Maha guy comes out and we're like, yes, this is it. He's got a big, exciting announcement. He's going to get rid of the jibby jabs. And he's like, I want everybody to wear technological wearables. And we're like, wait, what? So yeah, here we are.
They're like, you fell for it again. We rugged you again. The pillars underlining the HHS AI strategy going forward include ensure governance and risk management for public trust, design infrastructure and platforms for user needs, promote workforce development and burden reduction for efficiency, foster health research and reproducibility through gold standard science, enable care and public health delivery modernization for better outcomes.
Well, the problem is these definitions change a lot. Like under the previous administration, in the last medical emergency that we had, was the gold standard of science for PCR tests. And that is anything but they were referring to it as such, which was just a slap in the face because it is not the gold standard for testing at all.
All you have to do is just scream science at the top of your lungs and censor anybody that even wants to challenge any public health policy. And that's exactly what we saw in this country. Let's never forget what they've done here now.
Sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
I will never forget. Okay, moving on. What they also put out this talk about boring compliance plan. And so there's probably some nuggets in here. Honestly, it's only 8 pages. I probably am going to go back and read this, but I saw it. And I didn't have time to go through it all. But they also put out this PDF, 8-pager compliance plan with a very creepy robot AI arm coming out of the screen to do this, Minority Report type image where it just gives me the creeps, this stuff. I don't feel more healthy for it, Ruckus.
That was a very odd image. And the screen that the hand's coming out of, was that like the UN flat earth symbol? Is that the map thing?
No, I think that's just like a laptop or whatever screen. But yeah, this is the image from compliance plan.
Weird.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy, right?
Because there's the human. Oh, okay, I see the laptop now. Okay, the way I have my setup here, I don't see the full.
Let me try to get so you can see the whole.
Yeah,
image.
I see it now.
There you go.
It's still, that is weird. That is creepy. It's like it's very surreal. But yeah, neat.
We're moving fast into dystopia here now. Faster by the day. Segue to meme of the day from Department of Homeland Security. They say, deliver justice to criminal illegal aliens, become a deportation judge, save your country. And look what old Judge Dredd there. Join.justice.gov. Meme of the day from the Department of Homeland Security.
Should put a statue of that guy outside their office, yeah?
They should. Another meme, DHS wrapped. And so this is the theme of the federal government today. They say Department of Homeland Security top enforcement ops, Midway Blitz, Charlotte's Web. They barely did this one like yesterday in New Orleans. Catahoula Crunch, Operation Dirtbag, River Wall. They claim they seized 510,000 pounds of cocaine. Top immigration stats, 1.9. Now they're up to 1.9. They're claiming have self-deported. So that's another 300,000 in like the last couple weeks. And this is where they totally missed the mark. Total failure, 586,000 deported. And we were promised mass deportations with, according to J.D. Vance, Vice President, Mr. Technocracy, there's 30 million illegal aliens in this country. And all we can muster in a year under the Trump administration, mass deportation promises, is 586,000. These other 1.9 self-deported, allegedly. 0 border crossings in 6 months. Ice Barbie Christy Nome claims that this saved $13 billion. I believe all this is just made up bullshit. Ruckus, what do you think? Can we trust the government data on any of this?
Yeah, no, this has to be legit to a certain degree because I didn't see any 33s in there.
No,
if it was a giant mind F, they'd throw in the 33, right? Yeah, what a bunch of, like, I'm still like shocked to a certain degree of the way that they disseminate information, the current administration, through social media and these little fun, neat, organized, simple to use flashcard infographics and the short form videos and the hot, cool propaganda videos with the slow walks and the smoking hot babes as your press secretaries and your spokespeople everywhere. Like,
Attorney generals.
This is wild. Yeah.
Trump has supermodel attorney generals all over the place, and they all fail. They should all be fired. But who cares? They're good looking on the television. That's all that really matters, right? Because it's all theater for us.
Pete Hegseth coming from the Fox News. Yeah, in fact, the odd man out in all of this is little Marco Rubio. Sticks out like a sore thumb to me.
Poor little Marco Rubio. They did a switch up
Seems out of place.
because the saying used to be, politics is Hollywood for ugly people. Well, Trump turned that around a little bit and put some good looking people in there. All from television, essentially, all actors. But
there's a lot of diversity going on in the current administration. Oh, wait, no, there's not.
They're all Zionists, so very diverse, of course. Okay, continuing here. U.S. Department of Homeland Security cuts minimum eligibility on work permits for immigrants from 5 years to 18 months. And so you can't get a work permit, work visa, and come over here and hang out for 5 years anymore. Now it's down to 18 months. So turning the screws a little bit on these worker visas, Ruckus.
It's about damn time, yeah.
We've been waiting. Okay, let's hear it because we're fair and balanced like the old Fox News, right? Here's the Democrats' take on this.
Lawlessness of this administration and the cruelty is deeply hurtful, and it is terrorizing people. We're hearing about people who are not going to doctor's appointments, not getting their dialysis treatments, not getting their cancer treatments, not going to work, not showing up at their child cares or their schools, in whatever profession they're in, because they're terrified. And that is just so outrageous and so out of the any kind of a norm and it's going to hurt us. It's going to hurt our economy for sure, and it hurts our democracy and who we are as a country.
Holy crap. I want to take that audio clip and take everything that she said and then not let her finish, and instead say all of those things happened because somebody refused to take a jibby jab. Remember? All of those things happened. All of these things happened to people against their will during the medical intervention time for various reasons. But now we're going to have a problem with it because it's related to this. They politicize everything. It's so silly. And that lady clearly does not have a place in the Trump administration. She does not have the right, je ne sais quoi.
Let's hear now. They announced yesterday, Department of Homeland Security, this alleged immigration crackdown in New Orleans. Turns out not so much. So you would think they could get better intel about how to. Well, let's watch the report. They heard you coming, ICE. You know what I'm saying? Here's the operation in New Orleans trying to do mass deportations, and it's just not working out.
Underway in the Big Easy. So far, they have taken some 20 people off the street. What we saw yesterday is they started in a Home Depot to the northwest side of the city, and that is where they often pick up illegals looking for day labor. A big roundup never materialized, and it was no secret that Border Patrol was coming to town here. So what we have from local reporting is that a lot of people who knew they had questionable status just stayed home or stayed out of sight. Ultimately, what we saw from Border Patrol is they mounted up a foot patrol and came right here through the heart of the French Quarter.
The best they can do is 20 people at a Home Depot parking lot? Like, seriously? This is not mass deportations, Ruckus. 20 illegal aliens there with a massive force of federal agents?
Yeah, this doesn't look like it's being done efficiently. That one appeared to be done safely, though. That's good. The Cataluna Crunch, is that a cereal or something? What is that?
Cataluna Crunch. I don't even know what it is referring to.
The dirt bag was my favorite, though. Operation Dirtbag.
Operation Dirtbag. Are you a pro fentanyl, Hamas supporting narco trafficking terrorist?
Mm-hmm. Who, me? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You may have Trump derangement syndrome. Now they claim if you're against illegal foreign wars of aggression and extrajudicial assassinations. Here's from the White House. They put out this. Trump derangement syndrome has now taken on many forms, but supporting global narco-terrorists is a new low. Liberals side with bloodthirsty narco-terrorists in crusade to get Trump.
Man. Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't help when all of these people come out and say they're mad at Trump. We've been seeing this in the news. They're mad at Trump, and they come out and they say, "Hey, Trump, what are you doing killing narco terrorists? We like narco terrorists. We like drugs. Stop killing our drug suppliers. We love that." No, all I'm seeing and hearing are people saying, "Hey, listen, bro, there's like a certain thing that you're supposed to do first. And number one, hey, could you, if it's all right with you, I mean, is it way too much to ask? I know this is the first time ever in history of such of these events. Can we get a little evidence that these people are exactly who or what you say they are? All we're seeing is a bunch of boats being blown up. And then they flip the script and they dodge the question and the issue at hand and instead make up complete fabrications and lies and name calling. And it's not even ad hominem attacks because they're pulling this crap out of their backside. And it's so wacky and clown world level to me, but I can't even say that because it's so deadly serious. I mean, there are literally human beings being blown into like fluids and bones and ligaments and pieces and fragments of, this is disgusting and crazy and wild. And they're acting with such glee over it that, I mean, they have to be psychopathic to some degree to even get a kick out of this shit. It's wild to me, Sam. And I don't get it. I don't understand what they're doing because it's so in your face too. I'm like, to what? I mean, please show me a human being in real life who's like, yes, this makes perfect sense to me. This is how we do it. Go get him. Like, yeehaw. I don't believe it for a second, man. I have to have hope that they don't exist, you know?
They're all over my ex telling me. So,
well, but those people could very well be like bots or
they could be bots, paid shills,
government.
For sure,
yeah,
for
so
sure.
I can't trust that at all. I mean, in real life, have you run into somebody who's like, man, standing in line at the grocery store, like, hey, buddy, how about them blowing those people apart over in Venezuela? Was that the shit or what? And yeehaw! No, I don't see that, you know. And I'm in Texas, you know.
Yeehaw.
Ignore the panicans and trust in President Trump.
And that's all we get.
Isn't that coming?
That's all we get. More on the Department of War, Pete Hegseth. And I notice here now, reading the news every day as I do, many media outlets, Ruckus, are still calling it Department of Defense and not Department of War. I don't know what's up with them. You would think they would be hip to the name change, but they're not. Anyhow, Pentagon investigation criticizes Hegseth for sharing sensitive Yemen strike details via Signal. According to a report out of Reuters, the Pentagon probe concluded that the U.S. War Secretary Hegseth risked exposing sensitive details about planned strikes in Yemen by sending them via Signal on his personal phone, potentially putting American forces' lives at risk. Very professional there of Mr. Fox News man, Pete Hegseth. Don't you think so, Ruckus?
What's he doing with his hand there?
He does have good hair though, so I guess that's really all that matters for this theater of the absurd.
Yeah, but throwing up the 666 symbol is not helping. Anyway, yeah, see, that's the 666 symbol, everybody. Neat. He's got this creepy look evolving with his hair. What's going on? All these people get the white streak going on in their hair or what? That's kind of...
They say the presidency ages you like 10 years. And so I guess they just, when your entire life's a lie, that probably does have some stress on you. You know what I mean?
He needs like an eye patch or something. He needs something to toughen him up.
Like you're like,
more
what the hell's that congressman where you're at?
Oh yeah,
eye patch man.
Crenshaw,
Crenshaw,
yeah.
McCain Jr. Yeah, he needs to go for that look. Maybe go for the McCain Jr. look. Yeah.
No, but Pete takes it. I mean, it almost seems like they're ready and willing to throw him under the bus. Like maybe the statistics came through on the poly markets, the cryptocurrency prediction markets that said, oh, the people don't like this guy anymore. They think he's being bad in Venezuela, murdering people without presenting evidence of who or what they are. Not saying that they're mad because he's murdering narco terrorists. And, you know, I guess as a Christian, I can't even say, yes, I support murdering narco terrorists, but I support catching and trying and imprisoning and you know what I mean? Like, now, of course, if they're shooting directly at you and you need to defend yourself, then it is what it is. But they make up these ridiculous stories. I literally saw a headline this evening. I didn't even want to click on it. I was just like face palming, and I'm like, it hurts because I face palmed so hard. I was like, what is this garbage? They were saying that they're expecting that the White House is going to come out and say that the reason they authorized the strike on the 2 survivors of that last boat was because that they were fully intending on finishing the operation. The 2 survivors, after having their boat blown up, were going to hop back in the rest of the boat and grab the drugs or swim it wherever to the United States of America. And I'm just like, who believes this crap? And then also, you know, Marco Rubio suggesting, I guess, that they were Venezuela supporting in Hezbollah and Iran and stuff. And I'm like, who eats this crap up? It's crazy to me.
I saw the same reports, from little Marco. Well, I guess Hezbollah's hiding in Venezuela now.
Right, sure, of course they are.
Hey, might as well. That's why we got to whack Venezuela. So according to a report out of UK Telegraph, Maduro asked for $200 million in deal with Trump to flee. Venezuela's president blanket amnesty demand for top officials is a deal breaker for Washington, according to this report. So no amnesty for Maduro and his administration. It looks like they're going to whack them.
Trump is the deal Nazi, not the soup Nazi. No deal for you.
U.S. lawmakers file resolution to block Trump's war in Venezuela. The United States president has threatened a land invasion, as reported yesterday, in Venezuela. And now U.S. lawmakers filed a resolution yesterday, that would block a U.S. military action in Venezuela. So at least
for them,
at least Congress is acting like they care if they're involved in launching another major war.
Plus, incredibly nice to Trump and watching his ass for him, because if that dude decides to initiate some sort of military action without congressional approval, guess what's going to happen, kiddos? That is what is called an impeachable offense. Uh-oh.
Impeachment, yeah. If you look at it that way, they're actually helping Trump backhandedly. Maybe. Nah, I think they're actually all working together.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't, right?
So we're waiting. I mean, who knows how many billions of dollars are spent with the massive military buildup there, all in the Caribbean. We've went over all the numbers, a massive amount of ships, planes, troops, all this. And so who knows how much they're spending. A lot of money on this whole charade, sitting there waiting for orders to go ahead and hit the land of Venezuela as we wait here. China deploys over 100 ships across the East Asian waters. Tensions in the Pacific have simmered in recent weeks as China, Taiwan, and Japan take a more confrontational stance. And so another hotspot there in the Pacific region there, Taiwan. China's always pissed off about Taiwan, saying they own it, and we're backing them up, saying they're independent, and China's saying no, they own it. And then Japan is hostile toward China as well, and the United States is their ally. And so remember when they're building those fake islands there for military bases in the Pacific? China was
that was a true story?
I think it was, yeah. I think they're building artificial islands there for military staging, military bases there. Yeah. So It's a hot spot, as they say, that we'll keep our eye on. Well, don't trust America, says our greatest allies, Germany, France. Macron and Merz warn Trump may betray Ukraine in negotiations with Russia. And so our great NATO European allies are saying, don't trust Trump and America to Zelensky in these peace negotiations with Russia. And so they're probably our best allies there. Ruckus? These guys say, don't trust Trump or America. Do you trust these guys? Like, well, you can't trust any of them.
Normally, I don't trust these guys, but in this case, I think I would take their side on this argument, right? If it was flip a coin, yikes. Yeah, don't trust America. I guess they saw the pre-release of the Epstein files, and they're concerned about that comment about Bubba and Putin.
Macron, quoting him here now, France president said there is a possibility that the United States will betray Ukraine on the issue of territory without clarity regarding security guarantees. So,
see, this is what happens when your world leader does cocaine versus when your world leader does zero drugs and doesn't drink. See, because Trump is a teetotaler, so he can't be persuaded with the good stuff that Zelensky brings.
They're playing games both with you and with us, Merz said, head of Germany. So both their Germany and France heads are essentially saying, like we said, that don't trust Trump or America. Not looking good there. Putin went to India today and met up with Modi there, as there's been this fallout about the India buying Russian oil and Trump threatening sanctions, claiming that the purchase of Russian oil fuels the Russian war machine. And so they're trying to figure out some way to get energy from Russia without being subjected to U.S. sanctions. Here's pictures. And so they're good buds here, apparently, kicking it in the back of the limo, meeting up on the red carpet, the big hugs. And so all that went down. And then I gave you the little bit of background. I'm sure most of our audience knows, but it turns out that United States is still buying nuclear material from Russia. But we're running around the world telling the rest of the world you can't buy any oil from Russia, but we'll still buy nuclear material, uranium, from Russia. The United States itself still buys nuclear fuel from Russian nuclear power plants. But God forbid anybody else in the world tries to buy Russian oil. They're subject to U.S. sanctions and potential bombings. Ruckus?
But Sam, America needs these materials in order to protect itself from things like Russian aggression.
So do those other countries.
So we need to buy the uranium from Russia in order to fight Russia in the future, and Russia's buddies like Iran, and of course China, possibly over Taiwan. And ultimately at the end of the day, how long do we get to keep it? Isn't it just so we can do tests on it that are going to be like spirited away secretly, magically to one of our more greater allies in the Middle East, aardvark land? Do they do that out in the open? Do we just share it with them now, or do they still have to use their spies to take it? Maybe we should ask that guy, Mike Huckabee, who did the interview with that other guy recently.
Anyway. The convicted spy, yeah. Well, we're like at a stalemate. They say they're going to have another meeting now between U.S.
Listen, I was never, not even for a second, not even for a teensy-weensy bit of a minuscule of a millisecond did I think for at all that they're like, oh, we're actually going to see some peace in Ukraine. No, come on. There were so many things in this 28-point peace plan that immediately you could be like, wow, I'm not a geopolitical analyst of any sort. I don't watch the news, but from what I can tell, this ain't going to work, yo.
They need to stop the meat grinder, which is feeding in the youth of an entire generation of Ukraine. Ukraine's population has dropped from 42 million before Russia's totally, unprovoked invasion in 2020 to under 36 million. So those that have fled the war, refugees, a lot have been killed though as well. So that's a net difference of 6 million people have in just 3 years are no longer in Ukraine, according to a report out of Reuters.
Well, they have a really convenient way of replenishing their military. They just drive up and down the streets, and when they see a male walking around, they're like, it's a male and he's walking, and they just gang bang up on him, beat him up, throw him in a van, and there you go, off to the front lines with you, sir.
Millions have fled abroad. Hundreds of thousands have been killed or wounded, leaving schools, clinics, and villages empty. That's got to be eerie, man. Government forecasts show a looming shortage of 4.5 million workers, threatening post-reconstruction and future defense capacity. Maybe import some Somalis? I don't know, just throwing that out there. You know what I mean? Maybe some Afghanis.
We should be maneuvering some pieces around the world chessboard here for sure, but we don't do these things. We never do.
The United States signed a new 5-year health agreement granting Kenya over $1.6 billion in support. The first deal under the Trump administration, America First Global Health Plan.
Global Health Plan. I don't like where this is going.
Well, we don't need the WHO. You got America, so. Okay, on to
WHO to the GHP. Yeah, you know me.
Listen, this crazy story. This is out of Ynet. On to the final section of the show, the aardvarks that everybody loves. Aardvark land killed hundreds of crocs in West Bank farm over fears they'd be weaponized in terror attack. So these damn Palestinians are weaponizing crocodiles to do terror on aardvarks over there. Ruckus, can you believe it?
Oh, crocs like crocodiles.
Crocodiles.
I thought they were talking about those crazy little shoes there, right? The Crocs. What did the Crocs do to you, Israel? What are you doing, aardvarks? The Crocs are harmless. Leave the Crocs alone. I'm sorry. I'm just crying crocodile tears right now. No, this is disturbing. But
authorities say the crocodile farm had years of safety violations, repeated crocodile escapes, and worsening conditions, prompting the culling animal welfare groups condemn the decision and accuse regulators of withholding key information. But they were going to weaponize these damn terrorist crocodiles, Ruckus.
I've never heard such a ridiculous thing. This is, it just keeps piling on. It's like a ridiculous like layered cake or something. It's wild, man. Because
Ynet News, that's
weaponized in a terror attack.
That's like mainstream aardvark news, Ynet News. You know what I mean?
Or we have crocodiles with freaking laser beams attached to their head.
Fox News is now promoting birthright trips to aardvark land. Let's watch this if you can stomach it.
It is the 25th anniversary of Birthright Israel. It offers young Jewish adults a free 10-day trip to Israel. Last month, actor and singer James Maslow came on this show to discuss the foundation. Watch.
I encourage people to visit Israel. It would immediately clear up a lot of the confusion and a lot of the lies and propaganda that's out there. I went 10 years ago for my first time.
Are they talking about genocide tourism? I think that's what they're talking about here now.
Birthright tourism. That's
genocide tourism.
I got you. But
here's the most corrupt man in the world, our shadow president, Bibi Netanyahu, even too corrupt for the aardvark. So imagine that. In the interview yesterday with the failing New York Times, let's watch this. This is extremely creepy and disturbing, all toward technocracy.
I see a much greater revolution coming. It's here. It's not coming. It's already here. And all the wondrous technologies that we have, some of them are very frightening. I've talked to the leaders of AI in the world, and you ask yourself, there's so many blessings in this, but there could be a curse. But to challenge it or to channel it into the blessings that Israel can give itself and the world, I think there's another revolution coming. I tend to steer it along with the achievement of a broader peace. These are two enormous tasks that I'd like to take on. And you know, when history is within reach, you don't step aside, you step forward. And that's what I'm doing.
Mr. Prime Minister, we're
Dude, I think that was AI Netanyahu.
Is that him?
Well, it's hard to tell. There's something off about his background, though. Maybe it was like a green screen, but something's not right with that. I don't know.
Here's another clip from that same interview with the failing New York Times. Let's take a look at this clip and another creepy one.
The second thing is that you say we committed war crimes. I committed war crimes, whatever. I guess if, look, I would say that no army has done what Israel has done to try to get civilians out of harm's way, and Hamas has done everything in its power to keep civilians in harm's way. We tell them.
He says, I committed war crimes, whatever. It does look fake. I think that is an AI. I think that's an AI Netanyahu now that you mention that. Ruckus doing an interview with the failing New York Times.
Maybe, but I was watching the shadow on the background, and I'm like, okay, well, it's a legitimate shadow. So if it's AI, the whole thing is AI, including him and his shadow. But I don't know.
He's calling old Mamdani's bluff. Mamdani, the mayor-elect of New York City, has said he will honor the ICC arrest warrants issued against old Netanyahu for war crimes and arrest him if he visits New York City. Here is Netanyahu calling the bluff, saying he will go to New York City. So we're gonna find out what these tough guys are all about.
let me ask you a separate question. We've long wanted to do one of these interviews in person right here in New York.
By the way,
and
I didn't answer your question, Andrew. I'll come to New York. Okay.
And that was my question. Would you come to New York, given what the mayor has said about arresting you?
Yes, of course I will.
And you will test that? I mean, what is the thought about how that would work?
Well, why don't you wait and see? Yes.
So it's funny to him that there's international criminal court arrest warrants for war crimes issued against him, and he finds that amusing.
Why not? It's all entertainment anyways, but man, this should be exciting. I can't wait. Oh, let's get ready to rumble. Yeah, it's going to be a blast. Are they really going to arrest Netanyahu? I don't think so, but I would pay money to see that. And I don't have a lot of money. I ain't going to lie, but I would do that. I would pay good money to see that, Sam.
We're going to find out if he does go to New York, if Mamdani's all about it or not. He went on to say in this interview, he said, criticism of Aardvarkland's actions in Gaza is medieval, antiseptic. Of course, any criticism of them is antiseptic. Blaming online bots for brainwashing youth, and described Aardvarkland as fighting a battle for the truth and the future. Those are direct quotes from Bibi there.
For the future.
more from the most corrupt man in the world here. Netanyahu pleads for more support from Trump to secure a pardon. And so, but all the neocon, Zionist, shill hacks in America ignore the fact that Netanyahu started these wars in large part to distract away from his own corruption and bribery charges there in Aardvarkland. And every time he has to go to court, he claims there's a security issue and dodges this ongoing corruption trial that he's facing. Now he's begging Trump to put in his political will to get him a pardon there. And so he's even too corrupt for Aardvarkland, Ruckus. Like literally the most corrupt man in the world, Bibi Netanyahu, probably followed up by Trump at this point in time.
Oh, whoa! have you not met these this Ukrainian government officials? Some of them really take the cake, bro. Anyways, yeah, no, I'm sure nobody can hold a candle to American corruption. I guarantee it. I mean, I don't know. I don't usually buy into American exceptionalism. If there's one thing that America excels at, it's certainly corruption. Are you kidding me?
We reported on Afghanistan
birthplace.
corruption, right? I mean, it's just on and on.
We invented it, people. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's all so sad and terrible. But yeah, the pardon thing. So listen, there's also this unspoken rule or assumption.
How do we have anything to do with it? It's none of America's friggin' business. You know what I mean? But somehow, some way, it's all Trump is gonna use his political, leverage.
He's gonna call up the president of Israel and be like, hey, can you do me a favor, buddy? You owe me one. Like, I mean, the president of Israel very rarely comes up in most conversations, right?
Herzog.
Yeah, most people would be hard pressed to tell you who he is, right?
He lays low, yeah.
Lineup.
It's probably smart laying low.
Right, but here's the thing: it's like, so what is it about whatever exceptionalism or birthright or God's chosen people or their glorified mission for their we'll just call it a project to preserve and save everybody, the whole world from the terrible Hezbollahs and the Hamas. Their greater Israel project. Let's not kid ourselves here, right? What they're doing, right? Does that cease or does that not continue? Is that all because of that? Netanyahu is just again a head, just a public figure. All of that stuff still exists, still continues on with or without that guy. So he's on some sort of personal vendetta quest, and I think that he's going to lose the fight eventually. But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything. All of the stuff is still going to continue, maybe even stronger, faster. Maybe they'll warp speed another genocide somewhere else. Who knows? But again, Netanyahu is not the end-all, be-all prime minister for Israel. We're going to see another prime minister at some point. We have to. I mean, cheese and crackers, it can't be the same guy. I mean, he was already once before, and then he wasn't, and then he was again. I mean, like, give it up already, dude. I mean, even what's that football player's name is retired 20 times by now, and he gave it up, right? Or did he?
Or did
Tom Brady? Tom Brady, I don't know.
Or did he? Well, he stays in there to stay out of jail, essentially, because, and even as sitting prime minister, he's facing the corruption trial there in Aardvark land. And so,
oh, that's right. The pardon has nothing to do with whether or not he stays prime minister. It has to do with whether or not he goes to prison.
Him and his wife are charged with fraud and corruption. And the case has been going on a long friggin' time because he's continually delaying it, starting wars all around with his neighbors, for God's sake. A new Mossad chief has been named, Ruckus. I know you were excited about this news. So Netanyahu selects his military secret commander, Roman Goffman, is the new head of Mossad. Roman Goffman.
I couldn't tell you who was the head of Mossad before Roman Goffman.
Well, it's exciting news. Now it's Roman Goffman.
Do we have a picture?
Do
they wear a mask to hide their identity from the
like
public?
Ice? Like ice? No. Here's his, here he is. Right here. Aardvark land Prime Minister Netanyahu has selected his military secretary, Roman Goffman, to serve as the next Mossad chief. So there you go. He'll be working directly with terrorists. And so pumping up that ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Hezbollah, Hamas, name a terrorist group. I'm sure they'll be working closely with them. Okay.
Congratulations to that dude.
Okay, a little bit more here. Yeah, they're stacking bodies. How many I reported at the beginning? The last 24 hours, according to the Gaza Health Ministry, 6 have been killed, 6 Palestinians. 2 have been recovered from the body, from the rubble. Their bodies have been recovered for a total of 8, and 16 others injured in the last 24 hours there in Gaza for peace in the Middle East and the ceasefire. And north of Aardvark land, Lebanon, southern Lebanon, they're bombing the hell out of it. Here's video of the bombing here. Let me show you this quickly. And so this is what Trump calls peace in the Middle East and a ceasefire.
very peaceful. I saw pieces of that building fly everywhere.
Damn, man. Aardvark Land Forces phoned a health clinic in southern Lebanon, a lifeline for the poor, and threatened to bomb it. And finally, our good news story of the day here, as we're at the 2-hour mark, ready to wrap it up. Eurovision Song Contest has said they will allow Aardvark Land to participate in its Eurovision Song Contest, and that has prompted a boycott from antiseptics all over Europe. Ireland, Spain, and the Netherlands have announced they will boycott the 2026 Eurovision Song Contest after organizers allowed Aardvark Land to participate in it.
Have you seen the Eurovision stuff the past 5 years or so? It's just dripping with the most ridiculous, crazy, satanic, over-the-top performers and diversity and rainbow Skittles people. It's just insane. Like, and you want like, how dare you not let us in there to the satanic rainbow Skittles festival of debauchery and what the F is happening here? Like, how dare you? We want to be a part of that. Yeah, no, it's gotten quite clownish. I'm shocked that anybody even takes it seriously anymore. But yeah, look that one up. You'd be shocked. You're like, well, wait a minute, is this like some Super Bowl halftime show? Oh no. This makes Super Time halftime show and some of those Diddy videos and Jay-Z, Beyonce stuff to shame, man, for sure. Yep, neat. But it is good to see people being upset about participation from a particular country that is not well liked for the things that they do, not the things that they think, or if it's not because they're not a fan of the yellow color. No, it's because they're murdering children and stuff like that. So it's good at least that they say, hey, listen, we don't want to be anywhere near you, so we're going to bow out of this ridiculous song contest thing. Thanks, but no thanks. So that's kind of cool.
All right, Ruckus, you got anything else before we wrap up this broadcast?
I got an itch in about the center of my back, but that's about it. Luckily, I can take care of it because I own a couple back scratchers. Otherwise, I'd be screwed since I kind of practically live alone, you know. But yeah, no, anyways, just kidding. No, I don't have anything else, Sam, but thanks for having me. It was a blast as usual. Oh, make sure to check me out tomorrow on the Boiler Room because we're doing Boiler Room on Friday nights. That would be 8 p.m. Central. So you do the math for your time zone. There you go.
Check out Ruckus tomorrow on the Boiler Room on Rumble. And with that, over to the Odysee, I see Fat Bob and Highland over there. Thank you guys for tuning in on the Odysee and keeping that chat going. The Rumble, thank you everybody for tuning in on the Rumble, keeping that chat going as well. Who else do we got? Kick, Facebook, Twitch, X, and Bitchute. Thank you everybody for tuning in on those platforms, and YouTube. Thank you everybody for tuning in on all the platforms. And with that, as always, everybody do your own research, peace, love, and freedom. Speak out and take action. Have a great rest of your Thursday.